As a British Kashmiri, Tanveer Ahmed has every right to engage in political and social activities in Azad Jammu and Kashmir. His arrest in Koटली on 10th of March is unacceptable, therefore, and we demand that he should be released immediately.
لیاقت لون پریزیڈنٹ جموں کشمیر لبریشن فرنٹ برطانیہ زون. میں آج برٹش کشمیری راجہ تنویر احمد کی کوٹلی آزاد کشمیر میں ان کی گرفتاری کی پرزور مذمت کرتا ہوں، اور جو کنسرننگ اتھارٹیز ہیں، چاہے وہ آزاد کشمیر گورنمنٹ ہو یا وہ پاکستان کے ذیلی ادارے ہوں، ان سے یہ ڈیمانڈ کرتے ہیں کہ فی الفور راجہ تنویر احمد کو رہا کیا جائے، اور آزاد کشمیر کی گورنمنٹ اپنے شہریوں کی جان و مال کے تحفظ کی ضامن ہے، اور ہمارا ان سے یہ مطالبہ ہے کہ وہ اپنے شہریوں کی جان و مال کی تحفظ کرتے ہوئے ان کے فریڈم آف سپیچ اور فریڈم آف ایکسپریشن کے بنیادی انسانی حقوق کا خیال رکھے. شکریہ.
السلام علیکم. میرا نام گلفراز خان ہے اور میں جموں کشمیر لبریشن فرنٹ برطانیہ زون کا ترجمان ہوں. میں برطانوی نژاد تنویر احمد جرنلسٹ جن کو کل کوٹلی میں گرفتار کیا گیا ہے، اس کی شدید مذمت کرتا ہوں، اور میں اپنے تنظیم کی طرف سے جموں کشمیر لبریشن فرنٹ برطانیہ زون کی طرف سے اس کی بھرپور مذمت کرتا ہوں. اور حکومت وقت سے ہم یہ مطالبہ کرتے ہیں کہ وہ سیاسی آزادیوں، آزار آزادی، ان چیزوں پہ قدغن مت لگائیں. اور پہلے بھی آپ نے تنویر احمد کو جھنڈا کیس میں گرفتار کر کے پوری دنیا میں ہزیمت کا سامنا کرنا پڑا تھا. تو میں آپ سے اپیل کرتا ہوں کہ تنویر احمد سمیت جتنے بھی سیاسی اسیران سو کالڈ آزاد کشمیر کی انتظامیہ کے پاس وہ اریسٹ ہیں، ان کو فی الفور غیر مشروط رہا کیا جائے. نہیں تو جس طرح جھنڈا کیس میں پوری دنیا میں اس کے خلاف احتجاج ہوا، اور پھر اس کیس میں بلا جاز گرفتاری پر آزاد کشمیر کی حکومت اور پاکستان حکومت کو دنیا کے سامنے ایک ہزیمت کا سامنا کرنا پڑے گا. جس طرح انڈین مقبوضہ کشمیر میں مودی فاسسٹ سرکار ہر حق کی آواز کو وہ دبا رہے ہیں، ہر صحافی کو وہ پکڑ کے جیلوں میں ڈال رہے ہیں. تو اگر یہی کچھ سو کالڈ اس بیس کیمپ میں ہوگا تو پھر انڈین مقبوضہ کشمیر اور اس سو کالڈ آزاد کشمیر میں کیا فرق باقی رہے گا؟
Hello, my name is Ahmad. I live in the city of Bradford. I was actually born here. I would like to say a few words in support of Tanveer Ahmed campaign. Tanveer is a friend of mine. I've known him for a number of years now, and I'm aware of his activities in Azad Kashmir. Yesterday he was forcibly removed from the Koटli square, where he was holding a peaceful sit-in. I'm not sure why he has been removed by the local police, but I understand the local administration was under pressure by a foreign power to have him removed. Tanveer has a right to assembly. He has a right to freedom of speech. In fact, I would like to remind both Azad Kashmir government and the Pakistani government that a report was produced in 2018 by the UNHCR on the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. They made several recommendations to the Pakistani government to improve the human rights record in Azad Kashmir and Gilgit and Baltistan. With this in mind, I would like to ask both the Azad Kashmir government and for the Pakistani government to release Tanveer Ahmed immediately.
Claire, do you have anything to add?
I think, Mary, the only thing I wanted to bring up, and it's only because it's happened tonight and it's a friend and it's a supporter and I'm concerned and I'm worried and there's a lot of it I don't understand, and it's people that support our mandate, our solidarity, and they don't bring with them a political aspect. They don't bring with them anything other than I'm standing with Kashmir. So one of those supporters that have stood with us for a long time is Tanveer Ahmed, who is in the Azad side. And his message is usually he stands for good governance.
Hello and welcome to Martyrs Square in Koutli, Azad Jammu and Kashmir, otherwise described as Pakistani controlled Jammu and Kashmir. Here's my cup of kava, which I've been drinking from Chai Kada, and Claire Bidwell will be familiar with the tea house that she visited herself at some point last year. So this is to indicate solidarity and solidarity with a TEA at the end, with all those people who have some concern, some genuine concern and worry and anxiety over what's happening in Kashmir with reference to human rights violations, with regard to restrictions on freedom of expression, assembly, movement, etc., etc. And I hope more and more people can sensitize themselves to this humanitarian issue and can also understand that all countries concerned, including Britain, including Pakistan, including India, including China, and including America, have some share of responsibility to avert this disaster, to avert this tragedy. Thank you very much for watching.
So it's within Azad, and his belief is that the governments could give more strength to the people in Azad Kashmir. So his work is based around gaining that support for them. So he's been at Kotley Chowk, I can't remember how many days he was on, 65. Initially, he was standing for a man who'd lost his home, that had lived there as a refugee back from the 40s, over basically like money, I don't know what they call them, landlords kind of thing, where they were trying to buy the land off him because they could sell it elsewhere. And then he ended up imprisoned. So Tanveer had stood for that, and then was at this the Chowk. And so they were looking at governments. Well, today he's been arrested and he's in jail. And as I say, I don't, need to understand and find out more about it. But I was watching this and listening to this as somebody having his internal fight in Azad Kashmir to be heard. And my feeling at the moment is, well, where where's the freedom of voice? Where's the civil liberties if somebody's speaking up? So I just wanted to air that as human beings, how we get to be heard, how we get to be trusted and listened to and communicate, and that's on many different levels. So we know on Facebook, I don't know how many accounts I've lost, 4 or 5. So I could just as equally say, where's my freedom of voice? Where's my civil liberties? And they joke about it being put in Facebook jail. But I'm not literally being put in jail for... So there's a lot that I find upsetting, confusing, and, sometimes I think we've got such a long way to go. But at least we're saying something, and we're doing something, and we're having the dialogue. And that's what it's about. That's the only other thing I wanted to air.